I write. St. Lucia's latest radio drama.
This man is making me crazy. I cannot deal with this.
With bien fait, I write.
I just can't with all of these responsibilities.
Every Monday.
I hear the two. And you perpetuating them kind of nastiness.
St. Lucia's latest hot radio drama.
And of course, when I say good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, my name is Mr. McCarry in tonight with the program I Write. And of course, it's coming up right now. Ekmanadizot, Isho. A lot of things coming out in this one. So stay tuned. We're going into the program I Write. Moi bien fait right now.
Previously on I Write.
And you just fired Evan because of your own prejudices, which are false, no doubt. So please, get out of my space.
Well, make me move her.
I'd already tell you to get out.
What is
of
oh my god.
my
Stop. Don't
face.
What's so funny, Lincoln?
You.
Me.
Yeah, man. Look at you. All grown up. How does it feel?
How does what feel?
Well, to see you put your best friend behind bars.
Lincoln, you put your own self in jail. Don't come with that.
Well, thanks to me, you are what you are today. I in jail, and you?
Lincoln, this was all your own doing.
Yeah.
I kept warning you over and over, but would you listen?
Wait a minute. So, when did you warn me about wanting my wife?
I need a haircut. Baba, fix me up with a haircut then.
Owen.
Huh?
What you doing here, Mr. Man? What's up?
I just need a haircut. I need a haircut.
But Owen, you were just there a couple of days ago.
That was a while.
You don't even look at Owen. Hey, Owen.
Yeah.
Everything okay?
Yes, I just had an episode there with Lincoln, so...
Lincoln again, eh?
Nah, not like that.
What happened to him now?
Lincoln.
When? Oh, my friend.
I had to arrest Lincoln.
What?
No, not like that, Al.
Oh, sorry.
It's alright. It's okay.
So what happened?
If I tell you, eh?
Yes, tell me.
Well, first Lincoln had a heart attack.
He had what?
A heart attack, man.
Serves him right.
Al.
Okay.
Anyway,
so
I went to the hospital to visit Lincoln.
How is he though?
Well, at the time, better than both of us. You know, the man actually walked out of the hospital without being discharged.
But that's not dangerous, sir?
Yeah, but of course. So
wow.
The man dive and all.
Okay.
He came home. Wait, before that, I met Cynthia and Eve at the hospital and I gave them a ride home.
And there he was, waiting.
No. We were there. We spent a while talking before he came.
And what happened?
Well, when the man entered, Lincoln was in such a rage. I didn't even understand. He didn't even acknowledge that I was there, really.
For real?
Yeah, man, I felt so bad, especially the things he was saying.
Like?
Well, he was hitting on Eve and accusing me of trying to steal his wife.
Well,
what?
Are you trying to steal?
No. Well, Lincoln has been too abusive to Cynthia, and I just needed her to see that she does not have to take any of it.
So you have feelings for the Shabin?
She...
Wow.
What?
You have it bad.
Man, from the first time I saw her, when we were introduced, I mean, I know how it could look, seeing as Lincoln is my friend and all.
Yeah, but you have been there with them, I guess, trying to look out for her.
Well, that's just the thing.
What?
I'm just as guilty as he.
What? What are you saying, man? You always defended me against Lincoln.
Yeah, but I waited too long for Cynthia.
Well, you can have her.
It's not as easy as that. Not as easy as you think.
How you mean? You want her, she wants you.
That's just the thing, Al. Chief, I think she wants me. She hooked on her Lincoln.
Wow. After all the things he has done to her. What?
Yes, man. The woman sees me as a friend. All how Lincoln abused, refused, he cheated, all, she's still there. I wish I had a woman like that. I wish I had that woman. Ah, Cinti.
What an eventful day, Louise. You don't have to say anything, no? So you actually beat her up?
Evan, let it wait for later.
And the guard threw you out?
I was not thrown out, Evan.
So what happened then?
I do not really want to speak, Evan. The atmosphere is not conducive.
Okay. We're almost home anyway. Okay, driver, bus stop. So why you keep sighing like that? You have no bruises, no cuts, no blood.
Why can't you behave? At least wait till we get home.
But we home already.
Evan, we're still in public.
So, you love me. Come here, baby, come.
I cannot begin to understand how people could be so cruel. I mean, in this day and age, some establishments still doing that foolishness.
Maybe they have a vendetta against the black man.
Well, I just wash that piece of weave she had on her head. They think I'm joking.
Louise?
You should have seen her. She came in my face. I would not have it. I wonder,
Louise?
When I asked her what was the reason for the dismissal, she could not even say.
Lou?
I said, how could you discriminate against someone because of their skin color? That's master duty. Slavery was abolished since 1838. Apartheid? God knows. And racism? That's just ridiculous.
Louise, come here.
This nonsense has got to stop. It cannot continue. Nobody else should experience this stupidness. You will be the last, Evan. You'll be the last Lucian I'll go for that. Mark my words.
Come here, Lou. Come here. Listen, I have you and you have me. We have each other, so all of that, it doesn't matter anymore, Louise. At the end of the day, things will work out. You'll see.
Evan.
Louise, everything that has happened, it showed me that we really need to cherish our relationships.
Yes.
Life is too short, my love. And honestly, I'm so sorry for the way I've been treating you lately.
That's okay. I understand that your frustrations have raised our union. I myself probably have not been as understanding, but I'll try my utmost to help us grow.
You know what, Louise? Come. Let's go and get ready.
Okay. Let's.
George, visitor. Visitor, huh? I don't want to know nobody.
Lincoln.
Hey,
Lincoln.
hey, Cynthia, you come to get me out. Please, Cynthia, get me out of this God-forsaken place, huh?
Lincoln, how are you doing, my dear?
How are you? Look at me. Cynthia, how you think I am? I want to go home, to my home.
Link, I'm trying everything I can to get you out.
Well, you're not trying hard enough, Cynthia.
Lincoln, what more you expect me to do? I have done all I can. You are the one that need to control yourself. Obviously, you have not learned anything while you are here.
I have not learned anything? Me? You think I'm a schoolboy in a classroom?
No, Lincoln, I did not say that. I was only trying to get you to understand.
You are only trying to make sure I am out of the way for you and your cohorts to enjoy what is left of me, my house and my money.
Lincoln, that is not true. You always have those crazy ideas that make no sense.
Of course my ideas not making sense. Because y'all already make your complot. You, your mother, your children, and Owen.
Owen?
Yeah?
Lincoln, there is nothing between me and Owen. Nothing. I don't know why you keep getting at her.
Cynthia, oh la convier imbécile. You cannot see Owen want you. What? Which is why he put me in here. Huh?
But Lincoln, you hit me in front of the police. So what you expect, huh?
But you're not behaving your flipping self, huh? Behaving like a naive wretch. I hate you.
Lincoln, you don't mean this. You don't mean that, Lincoln.
Don't mean what? You and your man well waiting for me to die, for you to enjoy the little kakada I work hard for.
That is not true, Lincoln.
That's not true. Don't forget I know you, Cynthia. The only thing is I didn't make you up. Vieille vicieuse. Coyotism toujours devant moi.
Lincoln, why you saying
Yes,
that? Why?
Yes. You've been harboring feelings in your heart for Owen from the moment you meet.
No, Owen, don't say that. I mean Lincoln.
Oh,
don't say that.
You see? Now you calling his name for me.
That's not true. You said it first, and it got stuck in my head. Yeah, you're just trying to confuse me.
Confuse you? You're confusing your own self.
Listen, Lincoln.
No. We really bold these days, eh?
Look at you. Where are you now? You behind bars, Lincoln. Yeah, and where am I? I am out. I'm free. I'm outside the bars. If you want help, Lincoln, you must listen. Lincoln, listen. You are dead wrong about me and Owen. There is nothing between the two of us. Nothing. So you need to get that nonsense out of your mind.
I tell you already. I may look stupid, but
Lincoln, listen. If I did not love you, Lincoln, you think I would have stayed here with you for so long? And even now, look, I am here, I'm standing here before you with all my love, Lincoln, and I still hoping that you can change.
But Cynthia...
Don't but Cynthia me, okay? I am tired of your shit. I spend the best part of my life wanting to please you, Lincoln. And I wanted you to feel my deepest desires. But all you keep on doing is bringing me down, hurting me, and destroying my life, my family, my home.
Cynthia.
Let me finish. When I married you, Lincoln, you know what, wait. When you forced me to marry you, you know I was still very young. I was a child. You stole my innocence, Lincoln. You made me pregnant. Then you made your promises. You made me love you. And you hurt me. You hurt me, Lincoln. You hurt our family.
That cannot be my family, Cynthia. Nobody not on my side.
You hurt everybody. Look at how you treat your own flesh and blood. How could you say that if it's not your child? When the girl loves you like her own soul. Sure, she chose a lifestyle you may not approve of, but she's still your daughter.
She's...
Don't say it. We all know that it was your sperm, nobody else's. You, Lincoln, you should not even discriminate because you know what, Lincoln? You are the chief of evil. Them who are mem. Okay, I'm supposed to be your wife, yes. Yet you drag your backside all over the place as if you are single. You have not been faithful. Yet I have stayed with you. Oh, yeah, shut up. I know all about your escapades. Owen told me. You see all the shabbings? How could you do this? You had at least 1 3 times a week. Like you're trying to give me some kind of disease or what? I had better go and get an AIDS test.
I always used protection.
Use protection? Like that should make me feel better? Huh?
I am a man, Cynthia. And I will do what men will do. And there's nothing you can do about it. All I know is, when I get out of this hellhole, you will see what I will do, y'all.
Oh, so you have not learned anything from being in this place, Lincoln?
Wait, what? What you think? So, I don't know what you're doing. I tell you, when I come out, I pass in my watch on all of you. It will be hell and damnation when I finish with you all. Now, finish Guazo!
Baby, Trudy, why are you so sad?
Nothing.
Oh no, don't blame nothing. Look, he's over there crying too, because you said nothing. Well, I asked you what happened because you are crying. You said nothing happened to you, so nothing did something to you and caused you to cry. Never mind. But I got your attention. So tell me, who beat you?
Nobody.
So why are you crying, my love?
Nothing, Auntie.
School? What about school? Somebody hit you? You just started today and somebody already troubling you?
Auntie.
Okay, my baby. Okay, so what happened?
The children in class, they're saying terrible things about us now.
For true? I will have to march down there tomorrow and beat their little backsides.
No, Auntie, don't do that.
Okay, so what were they saying?
They're calling me names and say I was poor.
Really? Like what, baby?
Like you didn't have a car.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You are not poor, my girl. You have a mommy and a daddy who loves you. An auntie and a whole lot of people. And love you very rich.
Yes, Auntie.
And you said Uncle Al. They call him names, you say?
Yes, Auntie.
Wow. What names do they call him?
Names like Homo.
Wow. Homo. Wow. In first grade?
Auntie also.
And there you have it. Episode 19 of St. Lucia's premiere. St. Lucia's premiere radio drama, I Write. And boy, it was hot tonight. There are a lot of things coming out of that one tonight. Don't forget the number to call, 758-458-2488. The WhatsApp number, 489
I write. St. Lucia's latest radio drama.
This man is making me crazy. I cannot deal with this.
With bien fait, I write.
I just can't with all of these responsibilities.
Every Monday.
I hear the two. And you perpetuate.
Okay, so I was giving you that number. The WhatsApp number 758-489-4781. And of course you can also view us and listen to us live on Facebook. Of course you could leave your comments. Make your comments. Ask your questions. Don't forget to call and participate. And so we're going to go straight into it. Yes, straight into it. And of course we're going to be starting with... No, not tonight. We are starting with Lincoln tonight. No. Of course, I want to say good evening to those of you already on watching on Facebook. I want to say good evening to Vanessa Taylor. Hi, how you doing? Hi. I want to say good evening to Kimberlyn McPhee. Good evening to you. And of course, Samantha Eugene. Of course, I also want to say good evening to the folks in St. Vincent and the Grenadines listening. I want to say good evening to Natalia, to Alroy, to Natisha, to Natura. And of course, Miss Adams Bino, good afternoon, good evening, good night. How you doing? Hello. And for those of you listening in the USA, in London, and of course and around the world, those of you listening on our TuneIn platform, and of course those of you who have the Hitz FM app, I want to say good evening to you. But let's go straight into it, and of course we're going to be dealing straight. We're going to go to Owen and of course Cynthia. And of course Owen is now lamenting the fact that Cynthia is still in love with her husband, even after she has suffered so much under him, so much, has been through all that pressure, all that torment, the abuse, whether it was physical, emotional, mental, whatever you want to think about, whatever kind of abuse that you want to think about. Lincoln has exacted all these abuses on his lovely wife Cynthia, and of course their friend Owen, you know, after trying to help out, speaking to Lincoln over and over again, and now Lincoln has done the deed that, you know, nobody should do, and has ended up behind bars for it, even though he was a police officer. And that just goes to show you that no one is above the law. Owen is now lamenting the fact that Cynthia is still holding on to Lincoln in a way that he thinks she should not be holding on to him. And of course he goes to the barber shop and he's talking to the guys, and he's telling the fellas, you know, even after all that, you know, Cynthia's still in love with Lincoln, and he's now realizing maybe there's no chance for him, because he's now coming forward and saying, look, let me tell you something, boldface, I love the woman. Moi aime femme là. Ek monsieur a fait femme ça. Tout bagay qui pas bon. Huh? He's in prison now. She gets a chance to live her life. And he's seeing, you know, maybe that's their chance, that's his chance to be with the person that he has been in love with for so long. But still, Cynthia, in his mind, Cynthia is still holding on to Lincoln. You know, like again, I mean, callers, we have discussed, listeners, we have discussed it many a time. Many of people have spoken on it, and it is not a very easy thing to do, to just get up and just walk out. You know, it is not very easy to do. First of all, you have been taking that abuse for so long. Your self-esteem, your pride, your everything is at an all-time low. You do not feel as if like you are worth anything. But along comes people who, you know, care about you and give you that strength to now take the necessary steps for you to at least get some soulagement to all that abuse that you were taking. we have to understand that it is not an easy road to come back or to just get up and say, okay, so, you know, the person there, it is not easy. And we can see that tonight with Cynthia. Okay? We can see that with Cynthia. We can also see that when, as much as he has tried, and, you know, there's no quick fix to it. There is no quick fix to that. You have to realize that, you know, even if you have when you have a broken bone, they put it in a cast. Yeah, I mean, they treat it, they try to line it back, whatever is the open reduction, or whether they put the screws in it or the iron plate or whatever, but they put it in a cast. That bone takes a little while to heal. Okay? A little pain, a little pulling, a little tugging, a little something. Okay? But it takes a while to heal. Very same process here. Cynthia now, you know, Owen needs to understand that Cynthia needs time to heal. And all that can happen right now is to give her the full support to get her back on her feet. I understand probably Owen sees, yeah, that's his chance, but he's just not getting nothing. It is almost as if, and let's go to the local palace, and I know some of the technicians may be laughing when I say it, but yes, it almost seems as if Owen is getting a go well. But again, you have to understand, you know, the dynamics of when somebody really does care about you. They don't want to see you in that state. They want to see you go back and make the same mistakes again, and such and such and such. But at the end of the day, the decision is yours to make. We'll come back to Owen and Cynthia and Lincoln. But let's move on to something that's a little bit more, you know, disturbing. And it's disturbing to me. And I'm sure it should be disturbing to folks who are listening tonight, to folks who are viewing tonight. You know, it should be a little bit disturbing to those of you who are in authority, or you own a business, or you are in the human resource department, or whatever. Wherever you are working, whatever position of authority that you have, you should listen tonight. So, Evan and Louise coming home, and of course, Evan is very anxious too. Man, take your time. I mean, you know, this is not the place, time and place for everything. Call the Pastor Stewart. Time and place, you know, time and place. at the way dealt with her. You can't mean to tell me in 2019, in this new millennium, whether it pass just like that. It is not going to pass like that. Against that kind of thing. Don't be afraid to stand up against the powers that be. Do not be afraid to stand up. If you are afraid, you might whisper to say, me, I ain't saying nothing because, hey, you see how they drop him. What do you think they're going to do to me? Do not be afraid to stand up. Because today is Evan. Tomorrow, I don't want to talk about St. Vincent, Grenada. No, I'm talking about St. Lucia. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen at the place, but we concentrate in here. There are laws against such things. The Labor Department is there for you to go and seek your rights. The folks working in the Labor Department, it is your job to execute your duties and to assist those people who come into you. Okay? And don't try and cut corners with the people. You need to do your job. In order for that kind of behavior, thinking, mindset, whatever you want to call it, for that thing to be eliminated, to be purged from the system, to be purged from our minds and our hearts and our system, especially when it comes to a man or a woman making their daily bread to feed their family. Then it was a skin killer. Then they say it's malfeasance. Then they say it's all kind of things. Is saying that she's going to fight, not just forever. People get this one. It does not happen to anybody else. If Louise can take that stand, I think more people should come forward and take that stand. Friend Preke, good evening to you, sir. I see you watching. Good evening to you, Mr. Preke. Yeah, Mr. Joseph, sorry. Yeah. Good evening to you, your lovely wife, and your family. Huh? Now, let us say it is you the thing, be your course of action. How would you handle the situation? Would you be as brave as Louise to go march right down to your look? I came to find any reason. Don't forget the number to call, 758-458-2488. The WhatsApp number, of course, 758-489-4781. Yeah? I want to go back again. I want to go back again to one thing that happened while Louise visited the human resource manager or the human resource representative at Evan's workplace. Remember that up to now, they cannot give a definitive reason why he was fired. That's one. Number two, I am tired of y'all poor people. I am tired of y'all niggers. Is that the kind of behavior? Is that the kind of words? Is that the kind of thinking and mindset that our employers should have against us? Is that a healthy work environment? Is it? We need to stand up against that kind of thing. And the people, I want to let you all know that there are places, there are institutions, okay, that you can go to get recompense. There are institutions in St. Lucia that you can go to get recompense. The Labor Department is there. There are officers at the Labor Department to deal with such things. If you are not happy with the way that the Labor Department has handled it, you can go to an attorney. You can seek, okay? You can seek the services of a lawyer or lawyers if you can afford it, and you can seek recompense and let them handle it for you. But there are places. There are places that you can go to deal with such. We have a call coming in. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm nice, great, wonderful, blessed, all the rest, my dear. Talk to me. I want to deal with Evan and Louise first. Let's talk about Evan and Louise.
Yes, that's what I want to come and
Yes, Dudu.
So yes. Right. The last week episode. Louis go and interfere and interfere. All right. Wait, relax yourself. So he went. She went to the person. And she ended up in a little confusion with the person.
Well, she ended up in a confusion with the other person.
Right.
With the HR officer.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah. Right. So now she's walking with her husband. So does that give her the way she was talking to her husband, like, oh, she was in my face? So so Evan's giving her right because she went to the workplace and act like that. Does Evan giving her a right to do that?
Do you think? Do you think that's what was happening? That Evan gave her a right? Well, you have. Don't you think? Don't you think that? I mean, in everything that happened to Evan trying to look for somebody to kind of give him the little support and strength too. Now, if he getting it at home from his wife, what do you expect? You know the people already in a little rocky thing already.
Yes, but after she went there under false pretense, you misbehave, you do that. The husband still giving you right, like and the way she talking and she had a right to do what she did. She did not no right to do what she did.
Well, maybe right. Well, I believe that Louise should not have acted in the way that she did. I don't think it should have escalated into that kind of way. But I mean, you know,
and she could have asked her questions. She could have, investigate. But the way she behaved there was unacceptable.
And when
it was me, I was calling security to put her out.
Okay.
Because she came under false pretense.
Okay, darling, just listen for a while. So, you have to understand that Louise and Evan have been going back and forth because Evan didn't have a job. He was out.
But
Just listen.
There are people investigating it.
Yes, even if there are people investigating it, I am sure if you know, well, let's put it this way. She got so frustrated that she wanted to find out for herself what was going on. Now, remember, hold on. Remember, she was frustrated with her having to pay all the bills. She was frustrated because Evan was giving her stress. You understand? She found maybe she went down there and then she found that avenue to release the stress.
Wrong way. That's the thing. She went about it the wrong way. You went under false pretense. After you went under false pretense, you misbehaved and you acted inappropriately. That's my. I understand where she's coming from, but she should have done it a different way. And her husband accepting the behavior she had after they already saying he was gay.
Yes.
And all kind of things. But we now know it's a racist problem, you know, and whatever.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. And I will agree. I will agree that maybe she should have handled it a different way. But we're going first.
So the people
it seems to be cutting off a lot. So.
The people investigating it. The people investigating the thing between Evans and thing. How will that affect them on the investigation?
Well, how do you
investigating?
Well, how do you think it will affect them? How you think it will affect the entire situation right now?
Let me tell you, the woman, the lady, the human resource lady, will say things even if it's true or not. It will affect him. It will affect him. It will affect him. They might even outside help. Your wife come.
That's so very true, you know, ma'am. And I think that's a lesson for other people. Be very careful how you deal with such cases. You have people investigating, and you come in and put your own piece. Right now, the labor people will not come and ask these questions. They will take what the human resource manager lady. It's going to be.
They will not come and ask me this. And then if she was the lawyer for true, she would have gone to the labor department, do something. Do you understand? But she goes straight to the mouth of the thing.
Yeah, but you have to understand, darling. But listen to that, my dear. You have to understand. Louise is a wife who is frustrated, has been frustrated for a little while, and even now they're trying to put a little thing together. She still wants to find out why Evan has not been returned to work. It is getting very frustrating. She went and she passed her frustration somewhere else. Some people will react hold on. Some people will react that way. It doesn't mean that it is the right way. And I think that's a lesson for other people out there. That your right can turn your wrong if you do not go to the proper authorities and if you do not do things the right way.
Her right into her wrong. That's what she did.
Yes.
She did her right because she was physical with the person. She knocked the person. So yeah.
Now let's swing it. Let's talk about Owen now. Let's talk about Owen now. Owen. Yes, Owen that go in the barber shop. Yes, Owen. Owen go in the barber shop and he there crying. Probably this Owen in love.
Owen in love. Owen in love with Cynthia. With Cynthia. He loves with Cynthia.
Cynthia boy. Oh God. Just now let me just say hello, good evening to someone. I want to say good evening to Charm Sweets. Good evening to you. Thanks for joining. Yes, Owen is in love. Owen is in love. But you have to understand. You have to understand that all the support that Owen was giving Cynthia, Owen has been there, and Owen has seen the things that Lincoln has done to Cynthia. And Owen is saying to himself and thinking to himself and believing to himself, he can do better.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Okay? But you see, Owen has to understand. Not only that, Owen must understand that Cynthia has been through a lot. And it's not just so. Cynthia just going to let go of it. Yes, Owen has been a very, very, very good source of strength for her. But remember, it's not just so you're coming out of that. You understand what I'm saying? Some people are stronger than other people. But he has to understand and probably just bear a little patience if he really wants to, you know, kindle something with the lady, you know. And the fella's done giving him jokes and say he's a shabbing. I just had to throw that one in there. Yes.
Owen wanted Cynthia and Lincoln correct under Owen.
Well, I mean, something. I mean, I believe though that Lincoln had Cynthia already.
But Cynthia told him, I'm not in love with you like that or something. So like, I'm not in love with you.
I know exactly. You know, exactly. Okay.
She made her friend. So Owen should just leave that alone. They had nothing in the first place. So
I understand that.
He did his part, so now
I believe he should just wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay then, darling. So, thanks so much for your call. I know you want to call back when I start with the other piece, you know. But thanks so much for the call, darling.
Well, I need to speak about Lincoln.
You want to talk about Lincoln just now? Just now. They have another piece. Just now. Okay. You'll call back.
All right.
Okay, darling. All right. Yes. So again, of course, the little advice coming from our caller. You know, Lincoln should just leave it alone. I think that Lincoln should just, you know, let's see how it is. I mean, you have to understand where the lady has been, what she's been through, and so on. Yes, you have been there for her, but you know, wait your turn, wait your time. You know, patience. You understand? But something a little bit more disturbing now. The little child in the preschool. People, you all have to understand that. You see children's minds. You see children's minds at a very tender age. They're like sponge. They're soaking up everything. When you see they hear things, they listen, they're curious. They want to hear what it is. Okay? Some little children are more advanced than other little children. Okay? So if they hear certain things about your parents, your brother, your this, your that, you at school with them, okay? Children are that way. They can be very, 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 very troublesome, okay, in their teasing. I don't want to say, you know, that is the way I prefer to phrase it. They can be very, very, very troublesome in their teasing. So, the young woman goes to pick up her child. The child is crying. She is now questioning the child. What's happening with you, and so on and so on. And certain things are coming out. And then the child saying how they calling that person homo, calling that person names, calling that person this. The child now starts to ask, what does that mean? Because the child is being teased at school. Now, you know something, I blame parents. And it has to start somewhere. And it has to start not just in the school, but it has to start at home. Charity begins at home. And if you have a child that is going to a preschool, okay? You have a child that is going to a preschool, and that child likes to tease other children. Okay? For any reason, you need to straighten that child out. That should not be accepted in any school, anywhere. That's one. Number two, when big people are having conversation, little children should not be around listening. I say that for somebody or some people. When big people are having conversation, little children should not be around to listen to what's going on. You breeding, you see that little generation coming up there? Okay? They following everything that the generation before them doing. And if you notice the trend that's going on now, okay? the generations are doing too well right now. So you have now little children taking the little sips you on the gossip and everything, and they're taking it and they're going to school. And now they're teasing the other little children based on what they hear their parents or their sisters or their aunties or their uncles or whoever else at home saying. Now that is a school environment. I do not want to jump on the teachers too much, because the teachers have a role to educate, of course, to discipline, to nurture, to shape and mold. Yes, but their first priority is to shape that child's mind, okay, especially at that age, to prepare that child for school, for infant school, for primary school, for secondary school, for tertiary. You know, that is what the role of a teacher is, primarily. Of course, the teacher has to teach them good values, you know, inculcate them kind of values and disciplines in them. But when you have children coming from from homes, and all they can do is comments in the people in the school, you cannot blame the teachers. That's one. You have to blame the parents. And it starts at home. Look at that now. The child is at school. She's been teased. They've been called names. The institutions that we have in St. Lucia should look closely at these things, especially at the school level. You see a lot of children, they come from good homes, good families. And all of a sudden, when they get older, they break out into something else. Where you think they learn it? Not in the home sometimes, you know. It's in the school, the classroom. When they lie in with their friends. The friends now, that is the breeding ground there right now. That is what is happening there. That the child now is being teased and hearing these kinds of names, these kinds of things. These kinds of things. Go to you. All right. Hello, good evening, good night. You're on the air.
Yes, good night.
Yes, good night, sir. How are you doing?
I'm there, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't think it's wise to send your child to a private school?
You know, in certain instances, I would say yes. And in certain instances, I would, you know, it depends. I think it depends.
Because with a private school, maybe your child will be socializing with those children with the value, with good values, and it can rub on your child, and the child begin to be one of them too.
Do you think, sir? Do you think that these values that you're talking about there, do you think that these values exist even in the private schools today?
Well, it may, to a certain extent, it may. Because if you, for example, the kind of value the parent have, you know, those children normally has the same value in those private schools. You know, the parents are doing pretty well, you know.
Okay.
And it can rub on your child, and your child maybe end up socializing with those types of people.
Okay.
And by socializing with those type of people, may have a better chance in the future to climb up, you know, because no one will bring her down.
Okay.
Because if you're socializing with people who will bring you down, it's down you'll go.
Right, I agree. I most certainly agree with that. Yes.
To be in a private school, it costs money, but as you know, if you want your child to have certain value, maybe that's the trick.
You may have something there, but let me tell you something. Let me make you understand something. Whether it is in the private school or in the public school, okay, it still starts at home.
At home.
It must start at home.
Because you're saying that child might leave the private school, go back home and get polluted again.
That's right. No matter, let me make you understand something. Charity begins at home. If the home environment is not conducive for proper upbringing, you cannot depend on the school to do it.
So they say that you could get them out of the mess, but you can't get the mess out of them.
That is true. Very true. Very true.
Because, you know, a lot of people, you know, as soon as they have been very successful and they live in a poor environment where it's not healthy, they normally pack up and they go and live into those posh places that are expensive.
Right.
They don't stay in the environment to make a contribution, but they pack up and leave. Because I wonder why they leave. Because, you know, they don't want to stay in that environment.
Well, maybe some of the good values that they raise up with, they take it and they go with that. They go with it too, eh?
But even though they
and then it's not filtered down.
But sometimes, even though they leave that environment, they still will see the same problems in the mind. Even though they go and live in a posh place, the problem still is in the mind. Huh?
You're touching on something very, very deep there, you know, sir. Very deep.
You know, sometimes, you know, I look at the whole society, you know, and, you know, I'm saying that people who could make a contribution to the poor environment, they leave, and the environment remain the same. Instead of staying and make a contribution to develop the environment that is not good, help to develop it, they just move.
Very true.
So if they move, who will remain to make it better? You know? Sometimes I say when some people, well, they know where the problems lie. That's why they move in.
I believe sometimes, sir, it's not just because they know where the problems lie to. They just want to move around it.
And another thing again,
but let me just make a point on that. Do you believe that if you run away from it, it will get any better? Don't you think that you should probably, you know, find some like-minded persons and try to deal with the situation?
That's true. Another thing again, when I looking at our society, there's a lot of, you know, gay.
Yeah.
There is a lot of gay that do not really express themselves because they're afraid that being victimized.
That is very true.
So they're not being themselves, you know. That is why that's why when they leave St. Lucia and they go into a country where they've been accepted, they will able to express themselves better.
Now, you have to, you make a point there, you know, because let me tell you something. Among that community, among people that we're talking about gay people and people of the LGBTQ community. There are lawyers. There are counselors. There are social workers. There are police. There are nurses. There are all kinds of people. Okay? All kinds of professions within that community. And because of their sexual preferences, people want to victimize against them. And we are losing, hold on, we are losing a lot of talent. We are losing a lot of professionalism. We are losing a lot of things when we victimize against people like that. You do not know who will be the next PM, Governor General, Police Commissioner, whoever. You do not know, but you're victimizing.
Another thing that really crippled them too, fear.
That is very true.
So because of fear, you see, they're forced to do what they don't want to do.
That is very true.
And we cannot have our gay live in that condition.
No.
That is why they take what do you call it?
Refuge.
To those international countries where they will be accepted and where they will have a fully right to express themselves, you know.
I believe so.
Because we are small-minded people in St. Lucia.
Let me tell you something, sir. I believe we are losing out on a lot of talent and ability when we behave in such manner.
And they possess a lot of talent, you know.
I'm telling you.
And those talent has been just suppressed.
Yes.
Because they do not feel accepted in those environments.
Exactly.
And we have to be very careful that our young people needs to open up their mind. Open up. There is so much to learn from the differences that exist from God, you know. And we do not want to open our minds, you know. Even the grown-up too.
The problem, I think the major problem is that we judge people too quickly. We like to judge people. We believe we are the gods here. We are God. We are judge, jury, and executioner. So we want to judge somebody else, but we do it worse than them.
Because the people that we should be afraid of are the people that do not really, you know, that live in a normal life, you know. They feel they're normal, but yet they're not normal, you know.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, sir.
So, you know, even the women has been victimized too. The men has been victimized. The gay men, the gay women has been victimized. So they can't really. When I see one is wearing a particular clothes, I say that's not the person, man. They're afraid to really express themselves because they're afraid to wear the right thing. Because of persecuted, they will be harassed. They will be have fear. Someone gonna do them something. Someone that don't know better will do them something. So they have to do things to please the few that is ignorant.
I believe sometimes it's even a form of protection for themselves also.
Huh?
I believe sometimes it's even a form of protection for themselves.
Yeah,
also.
to protect themselves because for them not become a target. So
That's
they've been forced to wear what they don't want to wear.
And be someone they not necessarily want to be.
Because if you pretending to be somebody you're not yourself. You're just pretending. You cannot express yourself the way you should.
That's right.
But when you're free to express yourself, then you'll see the true value of our gay female and the gay men. You will see the true value of them when they're able to express themselves.
That's right.
They can't really express themselves how they want. Because in that small environment where everybody's so close-minded, when they see you passing, you've been persecuted, you've been even victimized, you've been even pelted by stones too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's not something that we should tolerate, and of course, it is not something that should be tolerated.
No, but sometimes when you hear the news, something happened to certain gay people say, "That's right, man. That's gay," as though they're no human. As long as them, they try to use the Bible to justify what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As though the Bible condemned that, the Bible this, that, the Bible that.
Like I said, they're playing judge, jury, and executioner all at the very same time.
Huh?
Which is they're playing judge, jury, and executioner all at the very same time, which is
something
wrong.
that people don't want to discuss those things. People get so emotional, so angry. Of what? Something that has been there for donkey years.
Let me ask you something, sir. Let me ask you something.
Uh-huh.
Do you believe it is their right to choose?
Who?
The LGBT, those who are gay, those who
Let
are...
me tell you.
Do you believe, no I'm asking, do you believe it is their right to choose?
But it's something that is very tricky, huh? Someone who born dek-dek, you telling me they was choose to be dek-dek?
No, I'm simply asking. The person
Gay
wants
is
to be
not
that...
a choice.
You're sure about that?
Because if it's a choice, well, a man that is normal wouldn't want to transform themselves into a woman. Never.
Okay.
I don't think it's a choice, because everybody wants the best for themselves. Because if you're born that way, you'll find that it's the best for you because you have no choice.
Okay.
You're used to it. But because I talked to a man, he tell me in the new life, I tell him, what do you want to born? You want to born a woman or a man? He tell me, I want to born a man. Because the sweetness of what he's enjoying, man, he want to born back a man.
Yeah.
So you see, you'll ask a gay, in the new life, would you want to born you'll ask a male gay, in the new life, would you want to born a gay again? He said, yes, man. But to him, that's normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, a very good contribution from you, sir. But
Anyway,
we'll have to take it here. Very good contribution from the fella, but I still believe it is their right to choose whether that's the life they want to live. You cannot force your belief on anyone else. You cannot do that. You should allow people to live their life. And don't play judge, jury, and executioner over their lives. Okay? There's only one God. There's only one judge. And he's going to judge all of us at the end of the day. So just allow and let people, okay? It is their right. Give them their rights. Respect them. Respect them. Let us go a little thing, and of course I have to end with Lincoln, because Lincoln ain't changing at all. And I know the lady go call back just now, but I'm going to say it boldface. Lincoln, Awagaza, your goose cook. I'm very sorry. So Cynthia goes, and Cynthia approaches Lincoln. And again, you can see Cynthia is trying her best. You know, she has made a commitment in marriage to love, honor, to stick by him through thick and thin for good or for bad, for better or for worse. But Lincoln don't do anything until Cynthia now has to tell him off and tell him and stand up to him and look at him and say, all that, after all that, you still not learning? Well, hey, no, partner. You inside and I am outside. You are bound, I am free. I can live my life. I can do what I want. And that should have served as a lesson to you for you to change your ways. You have a daughter who loves you and you're ready to eat her. You have a family who has been there for you. Despite the little, everybody has the little choices. People will not agree on everything. But that is your daughter, your flesh and blood. And you victimize it, you jump in on her, you want to do all kind of evil things to members of your own family. And Cynthia is saying, okay, well, Hannah, you're not learning, face it. Of course, we'll have to stop it here for the man, and of course, we have run out of time, but it was a pleasure. And of course, I want to say a good evening to Mr. Jacob, who is listening online. I want to say good evening to you, so you should have called, sir. But yes, 6 minutes after 9, of course, it has been a pleasure being with you here once again. God's willing, next Monday we will have another exciting episode of the program I Write For You. But before I leave, if you see something happening, it is your duty. Something that is happening that is wrong, sorry. It is your duty to stand up and to speak up against it. Okay? If you're a good person and you see something bad happening and you do nothing, the bad will continue. And at some point, it will affect you. You see something that is not going right. It is your duty to stand up and speak up about it. Of course, I'd like to say good evening to each and every one of you. Thanks for listening. This has been another program, I Write. Thanks for joining. God's willing, I'll be with you next week. Good night.
I Write. St. Lucia's latest radio drama.
This man is making me crazy. I cannot deal with this.
With bien fait, I Write.
I just can't with all of these responsibilities.
Every Monday.